Alright, what's up everybody? Back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Yes, we are back. Hope you guys are having a good one. You know what we're doing today? We're recapping the games from yesterday, March 5th. Some amazing games last night. We're probably more going to talk about the national TV games, the actual other games. But, I mean, we're definitely going to get into other games, but the national TV games are amazing. They have been amazing ever since after All-Star break, man. The NBA is turning up, and I love it. Also, by the way, we're going to get some more college basketball content as well. I know I said it a little while ago, but definitely at some point, the end of the week, probably, maybe, we're going to get into some college basketball videos as well. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, let's get right into it. But before we do that, if you like the content and stuff, subscribe. Consider subscribing to the channel. Like, notifications, do all that stuff. I really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. And yeah, let's not waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. First game we had was an ABC Suns Mavs. A lot of stuff going on in this game. Last year, remember the second round when the Suns got embarrassed by the Mavericks in 7 games on their home court. And then you had the KD and Kyrie playing against each other for the first time since being traded. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of tension in this game. Started out, the Suns were up 31-25 at the end of the first quarter. Start off with Devin Booker and the DeAndre Ayton in the first quarter was really good. But you know what happened the rest of the game. But DeAndre Ayton was really good. And the Suns got off to a good start. They were by 9 at one point. But then the Mavs three-pointers started hitting. You know, their bench, Mar.5 Morris came in hit a 3. Tim Hardaway Jr., Reggie Bullock were hitting threes. It was a 5-point game after the first. We go to the second quarter. And the Mavs bench is really helping this team in the first half. Christian Wood was doing well. Justin Holiday was hitting shots. Tim Hardaway Jr. was on fire in the first half as well. And the Suns bench wasn't doing that. So that was a big difference in this game. Mavs took the lead. At one point, they went to halftime with a 62-59 lead after a Kyrie Irving hit 2 free throws at the end of the second quarter. We go to the third quarter. Mavs start out nice again. Kyrie and Luka are doing their thing. But then Devin Booker in the third quarter decides to take over a little bit, hit some shots, and try to bring them back. But Kyrie and Luka are still playing really well in the third quarter. Still, every time the Suns would get down to like 4, Luka, Kyrie would hit a shot, you know. But then the end of the quarter was really nice. The Mavs were up 8 with just under 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and then the Phoenix Suns, Torrey Craig and Ish Wainwright, 3 straight 3-pointers, take a 1-point lead. Then Luka hit 2 free throws, and Devin Booker hit a pull-up jumper with 25 seconds left. And the Suns went into the fourth with a 96-95 lead, outscoring Dallas 37-33. And then we go to the fourth quarter, and again, it's back and forth. The Mavs bench to start the quarter. Tim Hardaway Jr., Christian Wood played really well in this game. Then Devin Booker, Chris Paul were hitting shots to bring him back. And yeah, the last few minutes was very, very back and forth. You know, it was KD hitting a shot, then Kyrie or Luka hit a shot, then Devin Booker hit a shot. It was very nice. The last few minutes, Luka threw an alley-oop to Dwight Powell to tie the game at 126. And then Kevin Durant comes out and hits a pull-up jumper with 12 seconds left to make it a 2-point lead. And then the Mavs possession, Luka gets to the rim, gets a really nice shot off a floater, but can't get it to go. And then Durant rebounds and the Suns hit their free throws. The Suns win 130-126, 3-0 now with Kevin Durant on the team. A very good win. Very tough loss for Dallas. The Suns shoot 55% from the field. They have 27 assists to the Mavs 15. They also are rebounded. Dallas as well. Kevin Durant was phenomenal. 37-7, 12 of 17 shooting, 3 for 5 from 3. To have 37 points shooting, 12 for 17, man, is ridiculous. And Kevin Durant is ridiculous. Devin Booker had an amazing game as well. 36, 5, and 10. 15 for 25 shooting. Devin Booker, in the 3 games that KD's been there, he's been putting up 30 like nothing. So I guess he really loves playing with Kevin Durant. Ish Wainwright hit 12 points, hit 4 threes off the bench. Chris Paul had 11, 6, and 7. And DeAndre Ayton had 16 rebounds, including a big putback late in the game as well. But yeah, really nice win for Phoenix. Devin Booker and Kevin Durant were hitting clutch shot after clutch shot. Devin Booker was hitting his teammates. And Ish Wainwright hit some big shots in this game. And yeah, Kevin Durant is phenomenal. For Dallas, Luka had 34, 9, and 4, and 8 for 23 shooting. Shot 1 for 9 from 3, hit 17 free throws. Makes sense. But yeah, Luka missed that very easy layup, man. That's crazy that Luka missed that layup, honestly. Really crazy. Kyrie had 30 as well with 7 assists. Tim Hardaway hit 6 threes off the bench. Christian Wood had 17. Reggie Bullock hit a couple threes as well in this game. And yeah, we also saw some talking between Devin Booker and Luka after Devin Booker pointed at the spot that Luka missed it at, and Luka went up to him. You know, they've had this rivalry ever since last year in the playoffs when the Suns went up 3-2. And then Devin Booker said something to Luka, and Luka came out of the locker room and said, everyone acts tough when they're up. Then they came back and won the series, and in this game, Luka does again. He says, you know, it's easy to talk with 3 seconds left. Or next time, don't talk with 3 seconds left. You know, Luka's about it, man. Luka's about it. It showed. But yeah, this is a great win for Phoenix. They're kind of secure in that 4th spot for now. They're 2 games above the Warriors. They're 3-0 with Kevin Durant. And yeah, this team just looks very dangerous right now. You know, for Dallas, they're closer to 500. They're 33-32. They're tied for the 7th spot right now. And yeah, they got to get some wins, man. They got to get some wins to try to at least build some confidence for this Mavericks team. Because it's very tough. Especially last night was very tough because they got help from the bench. Like Luka and Kyrie playing well, but then they got help from Tim Hardaway and Christian Wood. If Luka just makes that layup, who knows what happens the rest of the game. But yeah, again, good win for the Suns. Next, we have the Pacers and Bulls. These 2 teams fighting for the 11th spot. It doesn't really matter. The Bulls start off this game really nice. Zach LaVine and Alex Caruso started this game off well. DeMar DeRozan as well, hitting some shots. The Bulls led 35 to 30 at the end of the first half. That Chris Duarte 3-pointer at the end of the first quarter. We go to the second, and DeMar DeRozan kind of takes over. And some shots with the Pacers come back. Chris Duarte and Benedict Mathurin off the bench brought this team back. Take a 10-point lead. At one point, they went on a little run. They're down by 2. And then scored 12 straight points. Take a 10-point lead. The Bulls try to fight back. Zach LaVine hit some shots at the end of the quarter. Then O'Shea Brissett hits a 3-pointer at the end of the first half. Pacers lead 67-60. We go to the third quarter. It's another very tight quarter. I like what Jordan Nwora doing for Indiana, by the way. Jordan Nwora played solid. Yeah, you got DeMar DeRozan, Vucevic in there in the third quarter, but for the Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton finding his teammates, Buddy Hield hitting shots, and the Pacers led 95-89 at the end of the third after Tyrese Halliburton floater at the end of the quarter. A lot of end of the quarter shots in this game, for every quarter. Then we go to the fourth, and again, it's a very tight game. The Pacers led by 9 at one point, but then the Bulls keep fighting back. DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine had an amazing game. Zach LaVine hit a 3 with 5 minutes left to put the Bulls up by 1. Then hit 2 free throws to put the Bulls up by 3. But the Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield were hitting shots. The last possessions of this game, Zach LaVine gets fouled on a 3-pointer, down 2 with 22 seconds left to get 3 free throws. He makes the first 2, misses the next one. Then Tyrese Halliburton comes down. Halliburton going one-on-one with Patrick Beverley, takes a deep step back 3 and knocks it down. And the Bulls don't make their shot on the other end, and the Pacers win 125-122, passing the Bulls for the 11th spot. Very good win for the Pacers. They shot 51% from the field. The Bulls also shot 61% from the field, by the way, in this game. Pacers, their 3-pointer, though, they hit 16 3-pointers to the Bulls' 10. They forced 14 Bulls turnovers. They had 9 more assists. And then Tyrese Halliburton, another amazing game, 29 and 11 assists on 11 for 17 shooting, hit 6 threes, including the big one at the end to win it. He was amazing in this game. Benedict Mathurin had 17 off the bench. Miles Turner had 16 and 3 blocks. Chris Duarte had 15 and 5 threes. Jordan Nwora had 10. He started in this game. Then O'Shea Brissett had 10 points. For Chicago, Zach LaVine put a really good game. 42 points. Shot 13 for 23, 5 for 8 from 3. He was amazing in this game. He's been really turning it up recently after not starting the year off pretty well. DeMar had 23 points. Patrick Williams had 14 off the bench. Vucevic had 12, 9, and 5. Caruso had 10. But yeah, good win from Indiana. That's how Indiana wins their games. Hitting threes and hit assists. Threes and assists, really, are how they win games. They're a game and a half behind the Wizards for the last play-in spot. Will they get it? Probably not. But then again, it's 1.5 games. You never know what's going to happen in 1.5 games. So yeah, good win for Indiana. A win they needed too. Both those teams needed that win. And it was one for the Pacers. Let's go to the next ABC game, the Warriors and the Lakers. Lakers no LeBron, of course. The Warriors, Steph Curry returns for the first time in a month because of a leg injury. He comes back. The Lakers start this game off nice. Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, AD, got this game started for them. They led 33-18 at the end of the first after the last 2 minutes. No one hit a shot in the last 2 minutes of the quarter. We go to the second quarter. The Warriors start the quarter off nice to make it a 6-point game. But Anthony Davis, man, Anthony Davis was amazing in this game. Malik Beasley as well hit some shots. Austin Reeves as well doing Austin Reeves things. But the Warriors make it a game though. The Warriors outscored the Lakers 36-22 in the second quarter, led by Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Jordan Poole. Their bench also led the comeback with Dante DiVincenzo and Jonathan Kuminga, who's been playing really well. But then Klay, Draymond, and Jordan Poole lead the comeback, and it's a 1-point game at halftime, 55-54. We go to the third quarter, and it's a very low-scoring third quarter. Both teams weren't shooting the ball very well. But AD and Jared Vanderbilt were playing well for the Lakers. For the Warriors, it was Kevon Looney starting it, and then Klay Thompson and Anthony Lamb as well. Andre Iguodala was also playing. That's the first time I've seen Andre Iguodala play in like 5 years. Austin Reeves hit a 3-point pull-up jumper with 4 seconds left to make it a 6-point game going to the fourth, 78-72. And then we go to the fourth quarter. The Lakers start on a really nice run. The Lakers start on an 8-3 run to make it a 9-point lead. Steph Curry was trying to get himself involved in this game, and he was doing it. The Warriors went on a run led by Steph and Draymond to make it a 1-point game. Then Anthony Davis hit a tough step back, but Anthony Lamb came back and hit a 3-pointer. Like, it was just very back and forth in the fourth quarter. The Lakers getting to the free throw line hitting threes. The Warriors not making a lot of shots, but making a lot of... Steph Curry really making a lot of threes. Lakers had an 8-point lead with 3:38 left after Troy Brown Jr. hit a 3-pointer. But then the Warriors went an 8-2 run to make it a 2-point game. Then Anthony Davis hits 2 free throws. Steph misses the 3, and they comes down, and Anthony Davis hits a floater to make it a 6-point lead and kind of seal the game. And the Lakers win 113-105 after some free throws. The Lakers shoot 44% from the field. They hit 11 threes. The Warriors hit 18 threes in this game. But it was really the Lakers' defense. Lakers forced 12 turnovers from the Warriors in this game. And also assisted Warriors, which is a rare thing to say. It was an amazing win from the Lakers that they needed. Anthony Davis was amazing. 39, 8, and 6 with 2 blocks on 14 for 25 shooting. 10 free throws. He was amazing on both ends of the ball in this game. Yeah, we gotta start giving AD some credit, man. Especially after that win last night. Austin Reeves has 16 and 8 assists off the bench. He's been really good. Troy Brown had 14 and 8 rebounds on 4 3-pointers. He's surprisingly been very good this year as well. Malik Beasley had 12. Dennis Schroeder had 11 and 6 assists. And Jared Vanderbilt 10 and 13 rebounds. For Golden State, Steph had 27 and 6 assists in his first game back. He shot 8 for 20, 5 for 13 from 3. You could definitely tell he had a little rust still on him. That's what happened early in the year when he came back. He was a little rusty the first few games, but he'll eventually come back to Steph Curry. Klay had 22 points. He shot 8 for 18, 4 for 10 from 3. Not a great shooting game from him. Draymond had 15, 8, and 3. Dante DiVincenzo had 11, 7, and 6. And Jordan Poole had 10 off the bench. Hit 3 threes. But yeah, we all know Jordan Poole is definitely a very different bench player than he is a starter. Yeah, the Lakers are now not that far out of the play-in, honestly. They're tied. They're tied with the Utah Jazz for the last spot, the 10th spot. The Jazz have the tiebreaker right now. But the Lakers are right there, man. They're right there. They're right there. And their next game they're going to play Tuesday. They're going to play the Grizzlies on TNT. So that's going to be a good game. We're going to talk about the Grizzlies a little bit later. But a nice win from the Lakers, a really much needed win. Maybe a confidence builder as well against a really good team without LeBron. That's a huge win. Next, going into the Nets and the Hornets. This game was over very quick. The Nets, Mikal Bridges looks like a superstar right now, honestly. Mikal Bridges has been playing amazing. He puts up 19 in the first quarter, shooting 9 for 9 from the field, hitting his pull-up jumpers, hitting threes, doing all this stuff. Dinwiddie as well was chipping in, and the Nets led 36-21 at the end of the first. We go to the second, and the Nets, their role players really blow the lead open. Joe Harris, first time I feel like I've seen him play in 2 months. Came out, was playing really good. Cam Johnson hitting shots. Nick Claxton doing his thing. Dorian Finney-Smith as well, knocking out shots. And the Nets put up 34 in the second. The Hornets only scored 20 because their offense is not that good. And the Nets led 70-41. At halftime, we go to the third quarter. The Nets kind of slowed down. They only scored 16 in the third, it was mostly Mikal Bridges that scored in that third quarter. The Hornets are trying to make it a comeback with Gordon Hayward and Kelly Oubre. And PJ Washington hit his shots, but the Nets still led 86-62 at the end of three. We go to the fourth quarter. The Nets again only scored 16. They scored 32 second half points. The Nets did, which is the Nets very inconsistent because they don't have a star, so they're gonna have some inconsistency like that. And the Hornets were trying to make it a little bit interesting, at least. Kelly Oubre, Dennis Smith Jr., Terry Rozier hitting his shots, but ultimately it was Dinwiddie that kind of closed the game out for them, and the Hornets didn't have enough time left. And the Nets win 102-86. The Nets, both teams shot under 40% from the field. The Nets hit 12 threes. The Hornets 8 threes. Both these teams shot very bad from the field in this game. The Nets forced 10 turnovers from the Hornets. They had 4 more assists. Mikal Bridges is a superstar, apparently. Mikal Bridges he put up 33 and 8 last night, 12 for 21 shooting. He's been averaging, I think, like 26 points a game since he got to Brooklyn. He's had 4 30-point games. It's more he's ever had with the Suns. And yeah, I mean, he just has the freedom to kind of do whatever he wants. Like, who's going to tell Mikal Bridges, no, don't shoot those shots? Spencer Dinwiddie? Cameron Johnson? Like, who's going to tell him no? Like, Mikal Bridges has all the freedom in the world to do what he wants. And he's going to obviously build up his value and maybe be looked at as more, maybe just a good wing defender, role player type player. He's building up his value, And really nice to see that. Dinwiddie also had a nice game, 24, 8, and 8. A 9 for 19 shooting. Joe Harris hit 4 threes off the bench. Cam Johnson had 11 and 10. He didn't shoot well from the field. 3 for 13. Nick Claxton had 12 rebounds and 3 blocks. For Charlotte, Kelly Oubre had 17 and 7. Terry Rozier had 16. He shot 5 for 17. Dennis Smith Jr. had 15, 6 and 6 off the bench. Mark Williams had 10 and 14 rebounds, and Gordon Hayward had 12 out there as well. Yeah, the Hornets are not good. They lost 3 in a row after a 5-game win streak. Next we're going to another game. The Blazers and Magic. Magic having a different starting lineup. Today, no Wendell Carter in this game, or no Gary Harris in this game for Orlando. So Jalen Suggs and Mo Wagner got to start. The Wagner brothers starting together. This game is actually pretty good. His game is actually pretty good. I like watching the Magic, and Damian Lillard is amazing. So it's a good game to watch. The first quarter was very, very close. For the Blazers, it was the bench. I feel like the last few games have been the Blazers bench starting the game off for Portland, and then Dame comes later. For Orlando, it was Paolo, Mo Wagner. Mo Wagner's actually been really good. Markel as well in the first. The Blazers led 31-27 at the end of the first quarter. We'll go to the second quarter. And then the Magic bench. Bol get in there, make some shots. Franz Wagner was really good as well. Dame started to come alive in the second quarter a little bit. And it was, again, another very back and forth quarter. The Blazers led 58-56 at half after 2 Damian Lillard free throws at the end of the second. We go to the third quarter, and Markelle Fultz is playing really well. Paolo, and then Dame is hitting his shots. Jeremy Grant is finding his way into the game as well. Another very, very good third quarter. But the Blazers go on a little run. It was a tie game, but then Dame hit back-to-back threes, and then Shaedon Sharpe hit a 3-pointer to make it a 9-point lead. But then the Magic scored the final 5 points of the quarter, and the Blazers lead 92-88 at the end of 3. Going into the fourth quarter, very close. The Blazers are trying to, pull out to a lead, but the Magic will always come back. Magic will always come back and make it a game. The last 3 minutes were basically the free throw game. Whoever's going to make more free throws would win. Markelle hit a layup with 58 seconds left to tie the game, coming down the court. And then the other end, Nasir Little hits a big 3-pointer to make it 116, 113, 35 seconds left. I know Dame was like, what the heck is this dude doing? And then Nasir Little made it. He was like, oh, never mind, he made the shot. I did not think Nasir Little was going to take that. But, he was making shots all game. So why not? He hits a big 3-pointer. And then it comes down to free throws. Free throws. And the Blazers made theirs. That's all that mattered. And the Blazers win 122-119. Portland shoots 47% from the field. Magic shoot 50% from the field, but Portland hits more threes, 16 threes to 11 from Orlando. Orlando first set 17 turnovers, but the Portland out-rebounded Orlando, and they made their free throws. They shot 28 for 32 from the line, while Orlando shot 24 for 31. Dame, 41, 9, and 6 He's got 14 40-point games this season, which is crazy. He shot 10 for 25, 4 for 16 from 3. He hit 17 of his 20 free throws. Yeah, Jeremy Grant had 20, 6 and 7. Cam Reddish had 16. He's been playing very well in Portland. Drew Eubanks had 13 and 6. And then Nasir Little, 11 points off the bench, hit 3 3-pointers. For Orlando, Paolo had 26, 5 and 2. Shot 50% from the field. Franz Wagner had 24 and 6 assists. Jalen Suggs at 15. Markel at 15, 5 and 8 with 4 steals. Great game from him. And then Mo Wagner had 15 and 7. Yeah, Portland trying to make that play and push as well. Portland, they're only half game behind the Lakers. They're 13th now. They dropped from 12 to 13 because of tiebreakers. Because of a game we're going to talk about later or next, actually. And yeah, it's been very, very, very crazy. Playing this season in the Western Conference. Portland is 13 with Damian Lillard averaging like 30-something points per game. But, I mean, they won that game. So that's good. And Orlando still got some stuff to do. I really like watching Orlando, though. I really, 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 really love the Magic. Honestly, I'm not a Magic fan, but, I mean, if I was a Magic fan, I'd be very excited for the future. Yeah, next we're going to talk about the Jazz and the Thunder. Two teams fighting for the play-in spot as well. The Jazz came in the 9 seed. OKC, the 13 seed, really struggling. But then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is back for this game after missing a few. He is back, and he was on fire to start this game. He scored the first few buckets for OKC. OKC got off to a 35-20 lead at the end of the first quarter because they were hitting. Shai was hitting his shots. Jalen Williams, Josh Giddey hitting his shots. OKC led 35-20 at the end of the first. Go to the second quarter, it's more of the same. In the second quarter, Jalen Williams in his shots. He's great. Dario Saric as well got in on it. But then Shai came in at the end of the second and was just dominating. Shai had, I think, 23 points at halftime. And they led 70-51 at half. We go to the third quarter. And the Jazz are trying to make it a game. But again, it's Shai, it's Jalen Williams, and Josh Giddey. That big three right there. Just doing everything in that third quarter for OKC. But the Jazz ended on a nice run. Jordan Clarkson, Chris Dunn. We're trying to get him back in this game. Walker Kessler. Larry Markkinen didn't play in this game, which is a big factor. I should have said that at the beginning. But yeah, OKC led 101-84 at the end of 3. Go to the fourth quarter, and the Jazz actually outscored the Thunder. The Jazz outscored the Thunder 35-28 in the fourth quarter. They didn't get into single digits at any point, though. The closest they got was they made it a 10-point game at one point, but they just didn't have enough time left. OKC wins 129-119. They shoot 51% from the field. They hit 14 threes. They forced 16 turnovers. Yeah, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 38, 7 and 4 on 10 for 17 shooting. Came back and was doing Shai things. I feel like he looked at the crowd after every shot because he just loved to be back, I guess. He was amazing. Jalen Williams, though, 32, 5 and 5, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 12 for 15, 4 for 5 from 3. I mean, dude is amazing. Jalen Williams is amazing. He's going to be such a good player. He's been one of my favorite rookies to watch. And he probably is one of the more favorite rookies in the league. But, yeah, he's been phenomenal. Giddey also was really good. 24, 9 and 9. Those three were really dominating this game. Ousmane Dieng also had 12 points off the bench. The rookie from France. I almost said Australia for some reason. France. He got some minutes in this game as well. But yeah, OKC, big one for them. For Utah, Jordan Clarkson, 18 and 12 assists. 12 assists for Jordan Clarkson is crazy, honestly. But yeah, he's been playmaking out there. Walker Kessler, 17, 10, and 5 blocks. Chris Dunn has 17 off the bench. Chris Dunn has actually been playing very, very well in Utah. He just got a second 10-day contract. And I won't be surprised. They're probably going to sign him for the rest of the year. They should, at least, because he's been very good as their backup point guard. Chris Dunn's trying to make it back into the league. Kelly Olynyk at 15, 10, and 5. Ochai Agbaji, 14. Tino and Tucker at 11. And Johnny Juzang at 11 points. If you remember Johnny Juzang's name, yeah, I'm not even going to tell you where he's from. You guys have to, if you know, comment it or something. Yep, next we had the Spurs and the Rockets, two worst teams in the West. The Rockets coming off a win over San Antonio, snapping their 11-game win streak. They played again yesterday, and the Rockets got off to an amazing start. They led 38-24 at the end of the first quarter. Cam Martin Jr., Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., those three were knocking it down for the Rockets, and the Rockets were like that the whole game. Honestly, I didn't watch a lot of this game because these two teams suck. But the Houston Rockets were on it, bro. The Rockets were on it. Every time I looked up, their lead was increasing and increasing and increasing. Jayshawn Tate, Kenyon Martin Jr. in the second quarter were playing really well. Jalen Green as well. Jalen Green had like 20 in the first half. But the Spurs did cut it down, though. The Spurs, Malachi Branham, Charles Bassey, Keldon Johnson were hitting shots. Devontae Graham a little bit in there. Made it a 10-point game at the half. The Spurs outscored the Rockets 39-35 in the third quarter. The second quarter. But then the third quarter, it was all Rockets. Alperen Sengun, Jalen Green was on fire in the third quarter. They blew the lead up. They led 108-87 at the end of the third. Kevin Porter Jr. looked like a point guard out there. And yeah, the Rockets win 142-110. The Rockets put up 142 points in a game. That's insane. They shot 61% from the field, 52 for 85. They shot 54% from three, hit 13 of them. They had 6 more assists, 9 more rebounds, caused 15 turnovers. I mean, yeah, and the Rockets are on a win streak. 2 wins in a row for the Houston Rockets. We got to give applause just for that, man. The Rockets winning 2 games in a row is like unheard of. Jalen Green, 31 points. He shot 11 for 19, 4 for 8 from 3. Kevin Porter Jr., 19 points, 13 assists. Tari Easton has 17 and 8 off the bench. Jayshawn Tate has 16. Alperen Sengun had 15 and 14, 3 steals. Kenyon Martin Jr. had 13, and Jabari Smith had 11. Everyone was cooking for Houston. And you have the Spurs, Keita Bates-Diop has 17. Charles Bassey had 14. Devontae Graham had 14. And Malachi Branham and Devin Vassell had 13. But, yeah, the Rockets are no longer the worst team in the league anymore. They're still worse in the West. But it's now the Detroit Pistons. Because I guess the Pistons have the tiebreaker because the Rockets... I remember this game. The Rockets beat the Pistons earlier in the year, like a month or 2 months ago. So the Pistons now are technically the worst team in the league at 15-49, even though they're both at 15-49. Pistons are on a 7-game losing streak. But yeah, shout out to the Rockets. Next, we get into the Bucks and Wizards. The Bucks coming off their first loss after winning 16 in a row. The Bucks got off to a good start in this game. It was the others: Pat Connaughton, Brook Lopez, Drew Holiday hitting shots for Milwaukee. For Washington, Kristaps Porzingis started this game off really well for them. The Bucks led 34-28 at the end of the first half to some Porzingis buckets. We go to the second quarter, and it's more the Bucks hitting shots. Javon Carter was really good in this game. Corey Kispert as well was hitting shots for Washington. Yeah, the Bucks were just on fire from 3 early in this game. They led by 17 at one point, but Bradley Beal hit a few shots at the end of the second quarter to make it 59-48 at halftime. We go to the third quarter, and the Wizards make this a game. You know, Bradley Beal, but Delon Wright, Daniel Gafford doing things for Washington, and then Porzingis at the end of the third quarter. And the Wizards make it a 3-point game at the end of the third, 83-80. And then the fourth quarter comes. The Wizards take a lead at one point. As they start the fourth quarter, scoring 6 straight points to take a 3-point lead. But then the Bucks come back. Javon Carter was amazing in this game, hitting shots. Grayson Allen as well. Giannis was passing the ball everywhere, it felt like. But then at the end, it was Giannis and Brook closing this game out. Joe Ingles hit a big 3-pointer as well in this game to make it a 4-point game. And then Grayson Allen hit a 3-pointer with a minute 24 left to make it a 5-point game. And then Drew Holiday and then came down and hit a floater to kind of seal the game. And then the last play of the game, Giannis, when just dribbling the ball out, throws up a shot, gets a rebound to record a triple-double, and the Bucks wins 117-111. I didn't know that he needed a triple-double at that point. I just saw him going down, and I saw him just throw up a shot, get the rebound. I was like, wait, why did he do that? Did he just, like, throw the ball to himself? What is he doing? And then later, I was like, oh, wait, that was for a triple-double. He pulled it off. The Bucks win 117-111. They shoot 46% from the field. They knock down 22 3-pointers. When you're knocking down 20-plus threes, you're probably going to win games. They also had 9 more assists than Washington. Giannis, 23, 10, and 13 with 3 blocks, 6 for 12 shooting. He was Giannis. Javon Carter, 20 off the bench, hit 60 pointers. He's had some very good moments this season. Drew Holiday had 19 and 7 assists. Brook Lopez had 15 and 3 blocks. Joe Ingles had 14, hit 4 threes off the bench, and the Grayson Allen had 11. For Washington, Bradley Beal, 33, 9, and 2. He's been heating it up recently. He shot 15 for 32. Didn't make a 3-pointer, but getting to the mid-range and getting to the rim, he's been doing that. Porzingis had 24, 13, and 5. Then you have Diaz 17 off the bench. Corey Kispert had 11, and Delon Wright had 10. Also, Kyle Kuzma didn't play in this game, which is a big thing. Yeah, the Wizards 30 and 34, two losses in a row. Raptors are kind of widening the gap between 9 and 10. And the Bucks 46 and 18, best record in the league by a game. Next, we go to the ESPN games. Both of these games are insane. The Knicks and Celtics were probably the game of the night. The Knicks, no Jalen Brunson in this game, so Emmanuel quickly got the start, and Emmanuel quickly took that start and did a lot more. Celtics got off to a good start. They led 34-31 at the end of the first quarter. Jaylen Brown started this game off really well, which has been happening a lot more recently. But Jason Tatum got into it a little bit. For the Knicks, R.J. Barrett started this game off really well, and so did Julius Randle. 34-31 at the end of the first. We go to the second quarter. The Celtics outscore the Knicks 27-23. Again, Jaylen Brown doing his thing. For the Knicks, there's Mitchell Robinson, Obi Toppin, and Emmanuel quickly. And some shots, but then Julius Randle in the second got it going a little bit. Al Horford, Jaylen Brown, Derek White doing things at the end of the first half after the Knicks led by 1, 54-53. The Celtics, they score 11 straight points to make it a 7-point lead at halftime. We go to the third quarter. The Knicks have an amazing third quarter. They outscore Boston 34-26. Julius Randle got it going. RJ was hitting some shots. Mayo quickly was doing his thing. But the Celtics always had a counterpunch. Jason Tatum got it going in the third quarter. So did Grant Williams do some things. Jaylen Brown as well. It was 88-87 at the end of the third quarter. We go to the fourth quarter, and it's very back and forth. A very good fourth quarter. The Knicks took an 11-point lead at one point. Obi Toppin hit a layup to make it 11. But then the Celtics, Al Horford, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown come back and tie the game. Julius Randle hit a big step back three with a minute 25 left, up by 7, and that I thought was going to seal it. But then Al Horford and Marcus Smart hit 3-pointers to make it a 1-point game. Julius Randle hit 2 free throws, but then Jaylen Brown comes down the other end, gets fouled at and 1 to tie the game. And then he makes a good play on the last possession of the fourth quarter, and we go into overtime. We go to overtime, and it's back and forth, 3-pointers going all over the place. Not a lot of points were scored in that overtime. Al Horford hit a big 3-pointer with 29 seconds left to make it a 2-point lead. But then Emmanuel quickly comes down the other end, hits a floater to tie the game. Then Jason Tatum gets to the rim and can't finish the layup. And we go to double overtime, 121-121. And then double overtime, it's the Emmanuel Quickly show. Emmanuel Quickly hit a 3-pointer, then dunks, then gets a floater to make it a 5-point lead. But the Celtics come back. Jason Tatum hit a layup to make it a 2-point possession. But then the Knicks had a turnover, a shot clock violation with 22 seconds left. And then we come down the other end, and the Celtics, Jason Tatum drives, finds Al Horford in the corner to win, and he just can't get it to go. And the Knicks sneak out of Boston with a 131-129 double OT victory. They shot 49% from the field, hit 15 threes. The Celtics hit 21 threes. The Celtics had 9 more assists. They also forced 19 turnovers. It looked like a Boston win. But the Knicks just have the Celtics number this year. I don't know. But Emmanuel Quickly played the game of his life. That game. He played 55 minutes, Tom Thibodeau. 38 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. Shot 15 for 28, hit 5 threes. What a game for IQ, man. He's been actually very good this year. I'm probably going to make it short on him today. But he's been very, very, very good this season. Coming off the bench of 6-man ever since the trade rumors early in the year. He's been amazing. Julius Randle, 31-9-4. RJ had 29-11. Mitchell Robinson, 13-14. He's huge down there in the paint. And then Josh Hart had 10 points as well. For Boston, Tatum had 40, 11-6. He shot 12 for 30, 6 for 17 from 3. I don't know what's been happening to Jason Tatum's jumper recently, but he cannot shoot efficiently anymore. I don't know what's going on with that. But he's still having monster games because he's Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown at 29-8 with 4 steals. I would like to see him get a little more shots late in the clutch. I didn't really see him take a lot of clutch shots in this game, besides the one at the end of the fourth to send it to overtime, I guess. But in overtime, he didn't really get the ball a lot, and I'd like to see him get it more. Al Horford, 20, 14, and 6. Hit 6 threes. Marcus Smart had 13, and then Derek White had 12 in this game. But yes, the Knicks now 9-0 with Josh Hart, 9-game win streak. They're a game behind the Cavaliers. Yeah, they've been incredible this season. And for Boston, going through a tough stretch. They played the Knicks yesterday. They played the Cavs again today in Cleveland. They lost that #1 spot. They're still 3 games above the Sixers, so they're probably gonna stay here around the 1 and 2 spot. But they're going through a tough stretch right now. But this is what it's gonna be like in the playoffs, so they got to get ready for it. And then the last game of the day, ESPN, Grizzlies, Clippers. Grizzlies without Ja, without Dylan Brooks, without Steven Adams. Tyus Jones and David Roddy started this game. For the Clippers, 5 losses in a row. They just need something. They need a win. Is what they need. They need a win. The Grizzlies started this game off really well. Even though not a lot of people saw it because they were watching the Celtics and Knicks game. That went into double overtime. But yeah, Xavier Tillman, David Roddy, Desmond Bane, Tyus Jones playing well. For the Clippers, Kawhi was doing Kawhi things. Paul George was solid in the first quarter. And the Clippers bench, Mason Plumlee. Clippers led 30-28 at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, Clippers outscored the Grizzlies 37-31. There's Eric Gordon doing stuff to start the quarter, but then Paul George got into it in the second quarter as well. But the Grizzlies were making it close, though. Luke Kennard hit some shots. Xavier Tillman played very solid. Jaren as well got into it a little bit at the end of the quarter. The Clippers led 67-61 at halftime. We go to the third, and the Grizzlies put up 51 third quarter points, led by Tyus Jones, Jaren Jackson, Desmond Bane, Xavier Tillman. I mean, they just absolutely dominate. 51-30 score in the third quarter. Insane. And they go into the fourth quarter with a 112-97 lead. And everyone thought, well, here it is, the Clippers again. They're going to lose another one, 0-6. But it's not over. Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard really step up huge in that fourth quarter. They come all the way back and take a 1-point lead, or a 3-point lead after Kawhi and PG score a few straight buckets for the Clippers. Just made it late, but then Russell Westbrook got a big and one with 2:47 left to make it a 4-point game. The Kawhi hit a shot, and then hit 2 free throws to make it an 8-point lead. And the Clippers, after Paul George hits a big putback layup with 32 seconds left, they win 135-129, a huge comeback victory. Yeah, it looked like a Grizzlies win. The Grizzlies shot 54%. They hit 18 threes. They forced 17 turnovers, had 7 more assists. But the rebounds are huge. Clippers out-rebounded the Grizzlies 53-26 and had 13 offensive rebounds. That was a huge factor in this game. Paul George at 42-11, 12 for 23, 4 for 9 from 3. He was phenomenal in this game. Getting to the free throw line, hitting jumpers, rebounding, doing everything. Kawhi had 34 and 10. He showed up in the fourth quarter. He shot 9 for 20, hit 13 free throws. He was big. Eric Gordon had 17 off the bench. And Mason Plumlee had 15 off the bench. And this is a huge win for the Clippers. They needed this. They needed a win like this, especially to come back like that to win this game with PG and Kawhi playing like that. This is a huge confidence booster, and this might be the start of a streak. I don't know. For the Grizzlies, Desmond Bane had 30 in this game. Tyus Jones was amazing. 25, 12 assists, 5 steals, 9 for 14. He was phenomenal in this game. Jaren had 24. Luke Kennard had 15 points, hit 5 threes off the bench against his former team. And Xavier Tillman had 13. But it was just the fourth quarter. They just didn't take a lot of smart shots. Took a lot of contested shots, contested threes and stuff. And that just allowed, when you do that, it just allows the other team to inch closer and closer. And that's what the Clippers did. They inched closer and closer with Paul George, Eric Gordon. And then Paul George and then Kawhi got hot. And at that point, it was over. And the Clippers get a really nice win. They're still 8th in the West. They're tied with the Mavericks for 8th. And the Grizzlies now, back-to-back losses, they're now only a game above the Sacramento Kings for the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. Yeah, some great games yesterday, amazing games. The national TV games have been stellar. But yeah, that's all I got for today on Everyday Hoops. This recap. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, if you do enjoy, subscribe, like, notifications, do all that stuff. Really appreciate it. Also at Twitter at EverydayHoops10. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow.